It's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, September 4th. So we do have the moon moving out of Sagittarian energy very late in the day, and we'll be transiting to lock into Capricorn energy. So if you listened to the ascension forecast for this week and the energy forecast yesterday, you would know that we had our first quarter moon in Sagittarius energy. This was a boiling point. This was a point of shifting, a point of illumination, a point of transformation. Now, we're still kind of riding off of that intensity, but even if we didn't have any kind of special moon phase, the moon moving out of Sagittarian energy and into Capricorn energy always feels very heavy, very weighted. We are flying high, thinking big, riding off of the optimism, the enthusiasm, the confidence of the Sag fire energy, and then we come back down to earth. We may even splat down to earth in this Capricorn energy. The Capricorn energy needs us to be very serious, very somber. We have to focus on our goals, on our responsibilities, on our ambitions, on what it is we actually need to manifest. Now, the first quarter moon that we just had in Sag was likely adding the pressure to us in order to figure out where it is we needed to channel our energy in, our focus, our attention. And now moving into the Capricorn energy, we're going to be able to take those revelations, that insight, those ideas, and we're going to bring them back down to earth, get down to the nitty gritty on what we need to build, what we need to create as far as long-term plans, structures, roles, responsibilities go, to actually be able to manifest some of these ideas that we're now excited about. But we do get the bulk of the day with the moon still in Sag. So that is that fire energy. We are really rapidly trying to expand our minds and focus on the future and stay confident about what is possible. But this is also the last day of Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and worth and money and pleasure, is staying in Leo energy before moving into Virgo energy tomorrow. So we always feel this intensity build when a planet is preparing to move from one sign to the other because they're at the final degrees of that particular energy. And Venus being in Leo, the heart and soul of the zodiac, has had our heart chakras just popping off, good, bad, and otherwise. We're needing to get raw and vulnerable with what it is that actually makes us happy, that brings us joy, brings us pleasure. It aligns us with a true path, a true mission. We're really having to figure out here, especially who and what in our lives is worth our time and energy, where we need to be fully expressing ourselves in personal relationships in order to redefine the boundaries needed to keep us in a state of happiness, of harmony within ourselves and within each other. So we are going to be feeling that intensity. That is a fire energy as well. So the moon in Sag, the Leo energy, there's a lot of fire activations and intensities here today. We just have to be mindful of how it is that we actually allow that particular energy to manifest. So there are 9 different aspects taking place here today. 9 of them involve the moon. It is a moon day on a Sunday that is ruled over by the sun. So emotionally speaking, we're going to be all fired up, thinking big, trying to stay confident and optimistic, pushing the boundaries of our beliefs of what we think and our ideas are actually is possible, while the sun in Virgo energy is trying to keep us grounded. So there is this kind of conflict here between earth and fire, because the earth energy wants us to stay present in the here and now, controlling the aspects that we have control over in the here and now in order to focus on the small details that make up the greater, grander picture that the moon in Sag wants us to focus on. So there is this tug of war, so to speak, here with the energies today. Now, the moon goes ahead and interacts with Uranus in such a way that would suggest that there is something popping off in our exterior realm that is throwing a wrench into our plans, disrupting our emotions, making us feel a little bit shaky, a little bit insecure, a little bit unstable where our personal relationships are concerned. This Uranian energy does tend to create a little bit of chaos, a little bit of disconnect, a little bit of, let's call it emotional rigidity, if you will. will, because we're not in the present moment, first of all. We're with this moon in Sag, we're constantly projecting ourselves into the futuristic realm. But this Uranian energy in this particular way is really here to mix things up, to disrupt things. Why? Because many of us do not move outside of our comfort zone unless we have to. And right now, we need to move outside of our comfort zone to examine the possibilities, the options that we have outside of what it is that we've built, because many of us are not happy with what it is that we've built, but too afraid to step outside of what it is that we built because we don't know what awaits us. So the moon in Sag and this Uranian energy definitely zapping our emotions, zapping our mental plane because of something popping off in our exterior realm that's creating a little bit of chaos and disruption. Again, with Uranian energy, you have to expect the unexpected. And this is really going to kind of have a major effect on our central nervous system, creating anxiety or restlessness or overexcitement, overwhelming thoughts and feelings. The moon goes ahead and interacts with Mercury in a positive way. Mercury, again, in Libran energy. The moon in Sag energy, at least these two, the heart and the head, being represented by the moon and Mercury in this particular energy, they're coming together to try and balance, keyword with Libran energy, balance our thoughts with our emotions, right? So whatever just popped off, whatever disruption just popped off, whatever craziness is kind of taking place right now, we're actively working within ourselves to calm our emotions, to not over exaggerate them, to bring them back down to earth. And in this mental plane of ours, we're really trying to achieve balance between the extreme thoughts that we are having because of whatever is popping off in our exterior realm. Now, the moon goes ahead and sextiles, which is a beautiful energy, with Saturn, who is retrograde in Aquarian energy. This means that we are coming back down to earth because Saturn really likes to just ground us, if you will. Really kinds of gives us a little bit more clarity to see what's going on, to see why things are popping off, to see why we need to feel uncomfortable in order for us to recognize where it is that we're feeling trapped, where it is that we're feeling held back, so that we can figure out how we're going to free ourselves from this particular mental trap that we find ourselves in. This likely has to do with our roles and responsibilities, our commitments in life, because the Saturn energy retrograde in Aquarius is trying to review our current standing with roles and responsibilities and commitments to see what we feel no longer aligned with so that we can start building a brand new foundation and structure, a bridge, so to speak, to get us out of this funk from where it is that we're at and to build this bridge to get us to where it is that we desire to be. That moon in Sag, futuristically optimistic and confident about what it is that we want to conjure up for ourselves, what it is we want to manifest, adding to recognizing what kind of bridge needs to be built in order to get us in a reality that we would be much happier and comfortable living in. The moon goes ahead and bumps into the true node in a very positive way, which suggests that feeding off of these earlier energies, we're piecing things together. We're making a plan. We're getting a strategy in play. The true node wants us to get on the right path in order for us to be aligning with our mission, with our purpose. All this craziness, all this chaos leads to clarity. The moon interacting with the true node in this way means that we're excited about really making plans, about making sure that we are strategizing ourselves, our energy, our thoughts, our emotions in a way that would suggest that we're actually going to be able to manifest the situation that we're now excited and optimistic about. Now, let me just give you a warning here. If you've been listening to me for any amount of time, you would know that just as we take huge leaps forward, that dark force agenda kicks in order to bring us on back. Here's where things get a little bit kerfuffled. The moon squares Neptune, gets in the boxing ring with Neptune, who is retrograde in Pisces energy. This is going to create so much confusion. Just when we gained a little bit of clarity, just when we made a little bit of a plan, a little bit of a strategy, suddenly this energy swoops in and now we're questioning everything. Now we're confused. Now we do not see how it is even possible. Now we are like, we want to explore these ideas, but we don't know where to even begin. We lack planning. We lack action. We're kind of diluted. There's misinformation coming in either from the outside world or from our negative narrative. There's misunderstandings in our perception and our understanding of what needs to even happen in order to actually bring said dreams to life. We are kind of questioning whether we should be opening up to these choices, decisions, directions, and possibilities. This is a little bit of a trigger happy energy because there's this sense within us where we want to make a decision. We want to align with a direction. We want to commit to a direction, to a path, to a choice, to a plan. But we can't do that right now. We don't have enough information. We're feeling overwhelmed and confused. Our intuition isn't as strong as we would like it to be at this particular point. We have to consider the fact that this week we will be moving towards a Mercury retrograde, which means that things need to get confusing. Things are going to feel very vague and wish-washy. And it starts right here with kind of questioning all of the aha moments that we just had for ourselves. Now, here's where a little bit of help comes in. The moon is going to bump into Uranus again, this time in a positive way. This time, this Uranian energy is bringing aha moments, is bringing clarity, is bringing insight, is bringing a overall intuitive feeling from the higher realms of self that, you know what, we're not going to let this confusion get at us. We're not going to sit in the funk. We're not going to let the dark force agenda, talk fear into our plans. We know what is true. We know what feels good. Now we're re-identifying what it is that we knew to be true before Neptune kicked in and tried to confuse everything all to hell. The moon goes ahead and bumps into Pluto in a way that would suggest that now we get an opportunity in our waking lives to make a move, even if it's a small one, to show that we see where it is that change is needed, where we need to transform, where we need to boss up, where we need to take control, and that we are going to do so, even if it means just speaking up and letting people know that, hey, you're crossing a boundary. Or even if it means seeing the opportunity to step out of our comfort zone and do something different, or make the choice to stay exactly where it is that we're at and settle for what it is that we've already got. This Pluto energy is transformation through us bossing up and taking control over the situation, putting ourselves first, stepping into our authority, especially getting our emotions in check. Now, the moon is going to go ahead. This is the last aspect at 9:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that the moon is going to make before going void of course and moving into this Capricorn energy. The last aspect that the moon in Sag is going to be making is a trine with Venus. This is Venus's last aspect while in this Leo energy. And this is going to make us be feeling all the feels. We're going to be feeling good. We're going to be feeling confident. We're going to be feeling comfortable. But here's the thing. Here's the caution that I will give you. We are feeling so optimistic, so enthusiastic, so sure about our thoughts, about our ideas, about our feelings that we're going to want to kind of express ourselves, maybe commit to something, maybe have that conversation that locks us into something. Do not have it. Okay? You might feel like you want to have it. You might feel like everything is tickety-boo. Do not commit. Do not decide. Do not make any decisions. This is not the time. Even though it feels right, it is not the time. We're at the 29th crisis degree in this Leo energy before moving into a more grounded approach in Virgo energy. Please, 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 please do not let the warm, fuzzy feelings, the confidence, the optimism, the enthusiasm, the hopes and dreams of the future put you in a situation where you align, where you commit, where you decide to something here and now, because I guarantee you, you are not going to feel the same way tomorrow. Yes, this is a good vibe. It's good to sit in the comfortability. It's good to be feeling all the happiness and passions and vibes and confidence and, thinking about your future and thinking about love and thinking about this and that. Yeah, we get swept away. But that is exactly why we do not want to commit to anything, because we are not grounded enough. We are not informed enough. We have not strategized enough. We are in Virgo season. Please, please, please do not let your feelings, good feelings, get the best of you and throw you into a choice, to a decision that you are going to regret tomorrow. Now, the moon moves into Capricorn energy, locks in at 10:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 10:57, we have our very first aspect with the moon in Capricorn, and it is a not so nice interaction with the true node. This particular energy is putting a lot of pressure on our mental plane, on our heart space, because we were just feeling the jive, we were feeling the vibe, we were feeling good, all up in the feels. Hopefully you didn't commit, hopefully you listened to me, because here's the thing. Our negative narrative kicks in with this Capricorn energy, not necessarily a bad thing, because we're flying so freaking high, over-elated with this fire energy, that now we have to come back down to earth and get a little bit more reasonable. The moon in Capricorn needs us to get a little bit serious, needs us to focus on the here and now. And this is why it is a conflict to interact with the true node at this point. This is also why I didn't want you to commit to anything, because now we're questioning whether that is the right path for us. Because this Capricorn energy, I'm not saying we don't feel our feels in Capricorn energy, but we're not flying high on over-elated optimism. We are not, just riding high on the light and fluffy vibes of what could be. The moon in Capricorn brings us back down to earth, makes us a little bit more clear-headed, which we need to be. And because of this, interacting with the true node that's trying to get us on the right path, the moon in Capricorn is like, you know what? I just need to step back here. We need to, gain perspective in our thoughts and our emotions here. I'm not willing to commit to anything right now. I have to think about my goals, my dreams, my roles, responsibilities. I have to sort a couple of things out before I'm willing to take a step forward. And this is why I say to you, please do not commit or make any decisions when you're feeling that high vibe, that love in your heart, those warm, fuzzy feelings going on, because the energy is going to shift, and it's going to shift quick when the moon moves into Capricorn energy.